Welcome back. It is Thursday, May 4th in the MLB. My three favorite picks are on the way. May the 4th be with you. Logan would love for me to say that. And while I wish Logan was my special guest today, we'll have to settle with this guy. The Broom is out. A 3-0 sweep yesterday. We will take that. I picked up right where Logan left off, a 17-2 run. Like, we've been on dialed in the MLB, and hopefully you've been taking advantage of it. I don't ask for much, but if you are new, do me a favor, go down below, hit that subscribe button, drop a like, and if you want to support the channel even more, go become a COS All-Star. You get our plays early. It's just the YouTube membership. Should be a join button right next down below next to our channel name. And look, we've been really dialed in. Let's talk about it. Diamondbacks money line. They get it done pretty easily. Took a little bit of a sweat, but they scored about 5 runs in the 7th inning. We'll take that. The Guardians and Yankees over 3.5 in the first 5. I know some people got a push there when they took the over 4. They ended with 4 on the dot. We needed 2 Yankees runs in the bottom of the 5th to cash that. And then our NRFI was arguably the biggest no sweat NRFI we've had this season. 6 up, 6 down. I think 15 total pitches. Greinke and Gibson, they got it done. But we'll take that. A 3-0 day. Look, we've been dialed in lately. Hopefully you guys have been making some money with us. And we do have a couple offers. We always talk about a couple different sportsbook offers, but PointsBet is live in Ontario. I've talked about it a couple times. If you want to check out the offer that we have to offer there, if you're in Ontario, take advantage of it. Top link in the description. Also down below in the description is our parlay of the day. We do one every single Monday through Friday, every business day. Yesterday's parlay should have hit. If you don't know how it didn't hit, just go check out my Twitter, my last tweet from last night. You can see how Xander Bogaerts did not get a hit. A brutal beat for us. But either way, let's stay dialed in. We aren't going to win money every single day, although it feels like we've been doing that time and time again. But it's a long-term thing. We're up nearly 30 units on the season. We're almost just a month into it. Let's dive into our favorite play today. And we are going to start in Miami, where the Marlins are taking on the Braves. And I'm going with the Marlins on the money line, currently minus 110 on PointsBet. Very odd that you would see a team of the Marlins favored here, but let's talk about why they're favored. Now, if you're doing a little bit of Logan's line reading, as we call it here, Logan obviously is my partner. We do, well, not partner in that way, if you sense, but he is our dynamic duo partner. And look, he's been really dialed in this season, and he always does his line reading segment. And while he's in Sedona, Arizona, he'll be back on Sunday. I do want to talk about why we like the Marlins today. Now, if you look immediately at this line, you see the Marlins have lost 2 straight games. They lost 6-0 2 days ago, 14-6 yesterday to the Braves. I'm just thinking about where is this video going? Well, let's get back on track, guys. The Marlins have lost 5 of their last 6 to the Braves this season. Yeah, let's make them favorites today. Yeah, I expect a lot of people to be on the Braves today, and rightfully so. The Braves are a very good team. They have World Series aspirations, and at the end of the day, they're objectively better than the Marlins are. But today, it doesn't matter. You know, any team can win any given day, and I like the Marlins to come out here on Wednesday with Jesus Luzardo on the mound. Now, the lefty comes in here, Luzardo lefty. He's 3.48 ERA, 1.34 whip, but he's been much better at home than he is on the road. Luckily for us, he's at home today where he has a 2.31 ERA, 1.16 whip. Now, I'm not going to hide from it. The Braves do hit lefties pretty well, but they don't have great splits versus Luzardo. You see Ronald Acuna Jr. batting just 167. Michael Harris, who did exit yesterday's game early, he's batting a big 0-0-0. Hasn't gotten hit in a couple plate appearances versus him. Ozzy Albies, he's probably laughing at Michael Harris Jr. for being batting 0 for against Luzardo. Well, congrats, Albies. You're 0 for against him as well. Austin Riley, 365. So he's hit Luzardo pretty well. And then Matt Olson, 1 for 9, I think, 0.111. So we look at these guys that don't have great splits versus him, despite being good against lefties. Luzardo's kind of had their number. And look, the Marlins are a team trying to avoid a sweep today. I like taking those teams that are, down 0-2 in their 3-game series, trying to avoid a sweep. If we look at their last series, they played 4 games together. The Marlins won that last one. They lost the first 3, won the last one. The last one actually was in heroic fashion when they scored 5 runs in the top of the 9th to win 5-4. So I think we can see Luzardo come out here, pitch pretty well, give us a chance here, and then we're going to need the Marlins bats to show up, and I think they can show up against Dylan Dodd. Now, he's going to start for the Braves, was sent to the minors. He hasn't started in nearly a month. I think his last start was April 9th, and in that last start, reasonable so, they sent him to the minor leagues as he only pitched 4 1/3 inning pitched, 10 hits, 7 earned runs allowed versus the Padres. Now, his other start, he's only made 2 on the year, was 5 hits, or 5 innings pitched, 6 hits allowed, and only 1 earned run versus the Cardinals. So kind of a mixed bag here. But I think that the Marlins team, if they're ever going to score some runs, it's going to be up against a lefty. They're actually hitting pretty well against lefties. 2nd best batting average, 7th best OPS versus left-handed pitchers. That's pretty solid. We saw the Marlins score 6 runs yesterday, and despite losing 14-6, I think if you can get me 6 runs, 12 hits, I'll take my chances with Luzardo being able to hold down the Braves lineup. I know the Braves are very talented, but I love the fade teams coming off, a 14-run, 18-hit type game. I think Luzardo can keep the ball in the ballpark. We saw the Braves hitting a ton of homers yesterday. I think Luzardo and the Marlins have a chance here. I like them at minus 110. I think that's pretty decent. You could potentially get plus value on this. I don't know how the lines will change throughout the day. Give me the fish in the first one of the earlier games on the slate. We'll take the Marlins on the money line, minus 110. Now, actually, that might be a later game. But either way, let's move on to our second pick of the day. It's going to be an over in the first 5 with same recipe as yesterday. I'm going to the Blue Jays and Red Sox over 4.5 first 5 innings. We're taking the over. Now, I don't see this line going to 5. If it does, we know how sharp these lines can be. I mean, they can come down to the hook every time, but I think that we're going to see a lot of runs in the first 5 innings, and we really only need 5. It could be, they can score 5 runs in the first 5 and then never score again. I don't really care how it goes after this. And on some books, you'll see this as the first half. Some will have it as its first 5. It's the same exact thing. Now, let's talk about why I like this one, and let's talk about the 2 pitchers we're going to see. If on paper, if you're asking Austin, hey, if I want to be a square, I want to back the public, where should I go? Well, it's probably taking the Blue Jays on the money line, the Blue Jays on the first 5 money line, or the Blue Jays on the first 5 run line. Why? Because immediately you look at this matchup, you have Kevin Gausman in a 2.33 ERA going up against Brian Bello at 6.57 ERA. Those do not match up. Those are a big mismatch there. So it seems very easy. Just go and hammer, put Blue Jays money line, first 5 money line, all your parlays. It's an easy no sweat leg. I don't think so. And while I'm not crazy enough to back Brian Bello, because I don't think he's that great, I do think that the Red Sox will get some runs up on Gausman, and that Bello could also give up 5 runs himself, and it could be a no sweat bet for the Blue Jays. So I'm just going to take the over 4.5 in the first 5, and hopefully it's not a low scoring game with the Red Sox covering in the first 5, which was my other play. Now let's talk about Bello, and like I said, 6.57 ERA, 1.86 WHIP. The righty, he's not had a great start to his year. 1, 3, and 5 earned runs. So we've seen him give up 5 earned runs before, and there is potential he could give up a 5 earned run type game to the Blue Jays, who have talented batters. Now, he did have 1 earned run in his last start, so he's getting better, but maybe more regressions coming his way here with not a 1 earned run type game. And look, a 1.86 WHIP, not great. You're putting a lot of guys on base via hits, via walks, and this is a Blue Jays team that has the batters to put the ball into the bleachers. We've seen them do it time and time again. I think Vladdy sent one to the moon yesterday, and we just think Bello, look, the Red Sox, Fenway Park, hitter-friendly ballpark. I think that the Red Sox can come in here, or the Blue Jays can come in here and put up some runs on Bello. Bello has allowed a homer in 3 straight starts. We also see batters for Bello. Springer batting 667, Bichette 429, Vladdy 375, Jansen 500, Kirk 500, Merrifield 250. I don't know if all those guys are in the lineup, but I imagine a lot of those guys are there. We know Bello can come out here. He can give up 5 earned runs, but I think he'll give up at least a couple here. And then we'll need the Red Sox to put up some runs against a guy like Kevin Gausman. Now, I expect a lot of people to think Gausman's an absolute ace. He's been dialed in. Let's talk about him. 2.33 ERA, 1.01 WHIP. I can't poke many holes into his game, but if you look at his ERA game or his earned run game log, let's talk about that. Started the season with 2, 0, and 0 earned run starts. Perfect. Now, I will note, one of those 0 earned run starts, he did give up 3 unearned runs. Errors in there do factor in there. But then his next 2 starts gave up 3 and 7. Then his last 2 starts giving up 0 and 0. So he's strung together 2 good starts and 2 bad starts. 2 good starts, maybe 2 bad starts are on the way. I'm not saying it's crazy to expect, Gausman to give up a couple earned runs here. And the Red Sox have been a great offense at home. We talked about this, and Logan talks about it time and time again. Red Sox, 1st in batting average, 4th in OPS at home. Red Sox, 1st in batting average, 3rd in OPS versus right-handed pitchers. Gausman's a righty. Gausman also, if you look at the splits versus him, Justin Turner hitting 316, Ref Snyder 313, Devers only 200, Christian Arroyo 300. I don't know if all those guys are in the lineup today, but other guys have had success against them, and I think that they can get up to Gausman. I'm not saying Gausman gives up 7 earned runs and makes this a no sweat bet, but I don't think Gausman's coming out here and throwing up a 0 earned run performance. If I look at a strikeout prop, I saw it at 5.5 last night, about minus 150. When I see strikeout props at minus 150, it's like begging you to just lay a ton of juice on the over. We're going to see people on Gausman strikeout props and Gausman player performance doubles with Blue Jays money line. I don't think they get a free winner here. I think Gausman's going to toss out some turkeys. This is a guy that had 11 and 13 strikeouts in his last 2, and now they're setting his line at 5.5. I don't know. I don't bet a lot of strikeout props, but I don't think they hand out free money that often. So look at Gausman's last 2 starts in Fenway, 3 and 4 earned runs. Maybe he can do that again for us. I like the Red Sox to get some runs up on him, but I also think Bello could give up 5 earned runs himself. Let's just hope they're tossing some turkeys down the middle of the plate. We'll take the over 4.5 runs in the first 5 as my second play of the day. But as always, what everyone comes here for, the 4th or 3rd and final play of the day, and everyone should know what it is. That was fine. In the comments. Yesterday's was a no sweat. We will never get that likely that easy again. But hopefully today's is a pretty good one because I like the pictures we got. Now, let's talk about this one, and it's going to be the Tigers and Mets. We're taking the no-run first inning, minus 125 on Caesars. Now, if you're on FanDuel, I got to be honest with you. Bet is taking a minus 150 NRFI, which is what this odds was on FanDuel. Probably not it. I probably wouldn't take that. If you want to maybe parlay it with something else, maybe one of the hitters I got in our MLB parlay of the day, go for it. But I really don't like taking Logan, and I don't like taking those, minus 140 NRFIs. Just not really. That's probably as high as I would go, but you're getting minus 125 on Caesars. Hopefully you can get this in the minus 130 range. Now, let's talk about this one. And I think we got a good chance here. But first note, I'll be live at 1 p.m. Eastern, sweating this NRFI out with you. So if you want to come sweat with the channel on YouTube, maybe you're watching it right around that time, come sweat it out. I'll have the game up on the screen. Can't play the actual game, but we'll show the games and the pitches coming in. But let's talk about this one and why we like Mets and Tigers. Now, on the mound for the Tigers, starting off the inning, will be Eduardo Rodriguez. E-Rod, if you remember, in our first MLB video of the season, my first ever player prop this year, was E-Rod's over 3.5 strikeouts, and he did well for us, and he's actually turned into a really, really good start this season. 6-0 on no-run first innings, 2.21 ERA, 0.87 whip, and the Mets 30th. Yes, dead last in first inning runs. A team really struggling to get out of the gates, and saw the Tigers really smoking them yesterday. They even got up to Scherzer. But let's talk. I think E-Rod can come out here. He's been really, really good. He's a lefty. I think he can do his job. I think E-Rod can get us those first 3 outs, especially against this Mets team that's really struggling. Now, on the other side for us is going to be guy by the name of Justin Verlander. Ever heard of him? Yeah, Verlander making his first start of the season. There is some risk there, but he was 25-2 on no-run first innings last season. He has made a couple minor league starts, so he's been okay there. He's obviously not just coming in. They're just like, well, let's throw him out there. Now he's had some minor league starts. So I think Verlander, a guy that was 25-2 on no-run first innings last year, a guy like Eduardo Rodriguez, 6-0. That's the reason I'm laying a little bit of juice here. I know they got to Scherzer, the Tigers, that is, but the Tigers are still 26th in first inning runs. The over-under still set to, 7.5. So I think E-Rod and Verlander, look, if E-Rod can do his thing, get us our first 3 outs, and Justin Verlander's the one that sells us, I can kind of sleep at night taking that kind of NRFI. So I think we got a good chance here. There's obviously risk with the guy making his first start, but I'll take my chances on it. So those are my 3 favorite plays of the day. Ontario, Toronto, or Ontario PointsBet offer. It's all at the top link in the description. Parlay of the day is there. It's cash out. I'll see you guys at 1 p.m. for the live stream. Let's have a great day. Let's bring out the brooms once again. See you guys back in tomorrow morning. Let's keep it going, baby.